Mini Wargamer Dave here from miniwargaming.com. Here with Dice Check. You may have seen Dice Check. Or perhaps his other YouTube channel, which is, if you would, Matt, please tell me the name of it again. One more time.
Oh, yeah, it's a mouthful. It's Magikarp Used Fly.
Okay, all right. That's why.
Yeah.
I was going to stumble over and might as well go straight to the source. So welcome to the show. It's a pleasure to have you.
Hey, thank you for having me. But before we even started this podcast, even when I emailed you about doing some stuff together, I keep saying I'm a huge fan of mini wargaming. So I feel
you're very kind.
I feel starstruck. It's I don't know what to do with my hands.
Dude, you're too kind with your words. I feel the same. I look at your success in your channel. You are 1 million plus subscribers on your YouTube channel. Your Magikarp Used Fly LOL YouTube channel. Then your Dice Check YouTube channel, which is the wargaming specific YouTube channel, has blown up since you started it. So congratulations on your success there as well.
Thank you.
So first off, all right, so let's just dive right into stuff because there's a bunch of questions that I want to ask you. And really quick, before we do that, if you want to check out Dice Check, I've included a link in this post. So whether you're watching on Twitch or Facebook or YouTube, either live or after the fact, check out Dice Check and subscribe and watch the videos because it is quality. You will see it. You'll see it automatically. When you look at the titles and the thumbnails, you can see that there is experience and intuition that goes into that because you, sir, are a YouTuber. This is my perception anyway. And I said this a little bit beforehand, but I'll say it again.
Yeah.
You're a YouTuber who just happens to like wargaming. That's my perception anyway. You happen to like it. Therefore, you're bringing all this YouTuber knowledge and applying it to the wargaming videos, and it certainly is translating with the interaction and the success that you're happening. So I think that's very exciting. Whenever there is a greater audience, a broader audience that people can kind of broadcast wargaming to, it's good for the community. So
yeah. It's a rising tide raises all ships type of thing, right?
Yeah.
If everybody succeeds, then if one person succeeds and can lift up everybody else, or if somebody can come in and bring light to something, these Netflix documentaries that are coming out on a certain topic, and then it just explodes and everybody starts doing it. Anything like that it's always a good time. Henry Cavill starting to play Warhammer type of stuff, right?
Crazy.
Not comparing myself to Henry Cavill by any long shot. That guy is way too muscular. I cannot compete with that guy.
But okay, so when did you start your YouTube channel? Your original YouTube channel?
Yeah. Actually, it's kind of funny. So the Dice Check channel was actually my original YouTube channel.
Really?
Yeah. It was my original YouTube channel when I was just starting out at 15 years old. Doing YouTube uploading stuff back when YouTube was in its infancy.
Yep.
With the annoying, not the annoying orange, but
that's a long time ago.
Yeah. Evolution of Dance, all those really old YouTube videos, right? So that's where I started, and then I made the Magikarp Used Fly channel because on a whim I was just I started playing this game League of Legends, and I was like, oh, you know what? I'll try making a video on this and see what happens. And then from there, that channel just exploded. And then and so I went with that and made that channel and everything. And now I'm going back to my original channel,
awesome,
which is the Dice Check channel, rebranded as for wargaming because before it was vlogs and stuff and everything like that. And now it's rebranded to this. Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that actually started first. That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I love it though. It's just that reminds me of what's her name? It was her name is Tennille, and she had a wargaming channel, and then she started making YouTuber kids videos where they're unpackaging Kinder Surprise eggs and toys and stuff, and then that just completely exploded, and then she does that now. So. And it kind of makes sense. There's other industries that are a lot more pop culture, if you will.
Yeah, very, very more easier to digest for new people, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you're getting at?
Yes.
Yeah.
It reaches a greater audience, right? So, all right. So you're making League of Legends, and then you're making more. And this is how many years ago would you say is kind of when it started to take off?
When I was around maybe like 8 years ago, around there.
Okay. So Corn wanted it. See, that just happened to happen that way. So
yeah.
I love it. I didn't know that, and then the sacred number 8 always comes up sometime.
Yeah.
It's amazing. You can't plan this stuff. You cannot plan it.
It's just the sacred number, man. Not 6, not 7.
No,
it's got to be 8.
It's got to be 8. Yeah.
Yeah. The other ones are inferior.
That's right.
Because they're obviously lower.
They're obviously lower.
That's why it's ranked like that.
And so, okay, what was the? And you may have like kind of brushed on this, but like what more details? So like what made you decide to go back to the wargaming channel and pushing it and doing more of it? What was the thing that made you do that?
The thing that made me do it? Well, when I was younger, I've always loved tabletop stuff. Like more so than video games. Like I like video games, obviously, but when I was younger, I was all about like trading card games and stuff. Pokemon was huge. Yu-Gi-Oh was a huge part of my life. And then as I got older, I became like less enthralled with tabletop stuff. Even if I was interested in like Warhammer and everything, because as you get older, you go to college, you move out, all of a sudden like you're not with like your childhood friends that you grew up with, so like you have to meet like new people and everything like that. So I kind of fell out of that hobby aspect, even though it was like the love of that what I love, right? And then I just started playing like more and more video games. StarCraft was like really huge for me. I loved StarCraft, and then you take tabletop and you take StarCraft and then you put them together, and then boom, you got Warhammer. And so now like I'm just completely like it's like I'm going back in time and reliving my childhood that I wish that I had.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That's kind of like why I'm pushing it so hard.
Yeah. So right now you do a lot of live battle reports on Twitch, and you do other like I've seen other stuff on your channel where it's like you're doing YouTube, like I'm gonna call them YouTuber videos because that's what I'm reminded of when I see them. So it's like you have something that you're presenting, or a topic that you're talking about, or a product that you're showcasing, or new thing, new release, whatever. But you do it in such a way where it's very engaging, and you're able to watch it all the way through, and you're telling a story as it happens. And the editing is insane because it's fast paced, and it's like, do you edit your own videos? Do you have an editor? How does that work for you?
Yeah. So like on the main channel, on the Dice Check channel, I edit a large majority of the videos. Like I would say probably about like 90%.
Okay.
Even when I have like editors.
Yep.
Not this doesn't pertain to the Dice Check channel, but like just like in general. When an editor sends me an edit, I want them to send me like the project file.
Okay.
So then that way, if there's any changes that I want to do, then I will do that. There's been times when editors would send me the project file and I would completely redo the entire video almost. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Just because like with YouTube, there's such a huge time crunch. Like obviously like you understand that like YouTube just wants videos after videos after videos, right? And you have to somehow adhere to that in order to be in like this algorithm that, Google has created.
Yeah.
And so, when editors send me stuff, I have to do it very quickly. But yeah, like it's mostly just been me editing a majority of stuff. I have some editors that help me out. They've been helping me out with the Dice Check channel, but usually it's probably just like me working on the videos and like editing them and everything.
And that's both channels.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay.
I don't
that's
sleep.
Insane. That's insane, man. Because I mean, you're producing content for both channels, and it's multiple videos a week.
Yeah. It's hectic. It's very hectic. We're expanding to like have the editors be more in the fold, but it's just like it's hard to get people up to speed with it.
Right.
I look at Play on Tabletop, right, and all of them are they all know like the video industry, right? They all put their hands in the pot and everything like that, right? But it's very hard to come across not only people that are video creative, but also enjoy Warhammer at the same time, right?
Yeah.
That can understand that game and then also be an editor on top of it, right? So it's hard to get editors that understand what's going on and can pull like a narrative out of what you've recorded and have it make sense. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes, that does make sense. Did you ever see that, what's that YouTuber? I think it's called Veritasium.
Veritasium?
I think it's called Veritasium. It was the one where there was like a million black balls on a lake behind him.
Uh-huh.
Does this sound familiar?
No, it does not. Is it Vsauce?
No, it's like Veritasium for truth, but it's like a periodic table.
Oh. Okay. Yeah.
Anyway, the point of me bringing this up is because he made this video talking about the YouTube algorithm
Mm-hmm.
and how I'm going to group everyone together, YouTubers, no matter the shapes and sizes or degrees of YouTuber, but YouTubers chase the algorithm and they see something that's hot and popular and successful and they try to mimic it and then it changes and they're like forever chasing it.
Yeah.
And then there's people that are arguably creating the algorithm because of their type of content, like they're trends. They're
the ones setting the trends, and then everyone is surfing off of it. Yeah,
right. And so he was. It was funny because this video that he made about the YouTube algorithm was at the very end. He came to the conclusion because he's very scientific based in his videos, right? So he came to the conclusion that with the thumbnail and the title and the click through rate and the watch time, those are the things that are the most important. And in order to get more views on his videos, he's going to have to create these thumbnails that he wouldn't necessarily create, but needs to because he wants more eyes on it. And that aren't clickbaity in the sense that it doesn't show you what you get, but is kind of more sensational than he would be comfortable putting. And also same thing with the title. So it's not a lie, but it's kind of augmented and it's exaggerated. And he says, I will do that for you if that's what you want so that you can see more of my videos. Because if I don't, then I will be lost in the sea of other people doing it.
Yeah.
And then at the very end, he's like, oh, by the way, here's a bunch of videos I've made that aren't doing so well in the algorithm. So check out these videos.
That's smart.
Yeah,
smart.
I thought that was smart too. So it was interesting because the very video itself talking about the algorithm, he was able to get a lot of views because of the title and the thumbnail. And the watch time was good because people watched to the very end because of the journey that they brought him through. And so it was interesting talking about that. And it got me thinking about the YouTube. And when I look at your videos, and each one that pops up in my recommended feed, which it's often that your videos pop up, it's like, and I see that the view count, right? And I'm like, oh, wow. Okay, I can totally see why that it's got a lot of views on it. It looks engaging. It looks fun. There's some sort of reaction on the thumbnail. There's this, and that's what it is, right? That's what YouTube is right now. And then there's also the payoff of the video itself because it's entertaining and they're like the copious amounts of editing and time and thought. Like your videos are literally an extension of your consciousness, and I can see your humor in your videos, and so that's cool. I love that. I can get a glimpse of your personality now that I know that you edit the majority of your videos, or actually look over other edits and make sure that it is up to what you would
up to the standard that you would want out of the channel. You know, it's like producing basically, right? Yeah. And like YouTube is weird, man. Like you look at and like what he said is absolutely correct. There is the algorithm, but people don't realize that there are people that set that algorithm, right? You know, you got your PewDiePies, you have your like your Vsauces, you have your Unbox Therapy, your Marcus Brownlee, I think that's his name. They set these trends and people follow these trends, right? Because they're like the most watched. And then that they kind of create an algorithm for YouTube. But that also doesn't mean that there isn't like a lot of niche markets when it comes to YouTube. Like that's what fascinated me about Warhammer, right? It's like it's this community that's been worked on for like years, and like there's standards that you have to meet, especially for YouTube creation. And I think that is absolutely amazing. Like with video games, you can literally just like turn on a webcam. You know, everybody's making all these products, Elgato, all these things to help people that want to play video games, stream video games, and make videos about video games, making it easier. But you don't see that with like wargaming, right? You don't see that with tabletop stuff.
No.
And you're seeing these huge giants coming in, like you guys Tactics, Titans, or even like when it comes to stuff like D&D, like Critical Role, and then you have things like Magic, like Command Zone, and you have these people that are just driving this industry and showing companies like this is how people want to watch your content. Like, and I think that that's fascinating. It's such a cool community. If that makes yeah,
that totally makes sense. And so I have a question for you then, because you have the unique perspective of having a successful YouTube channel that is not wargaming related, in addition to your successful wargaming channel. So you have that, and then you have that. So what do you feel is a good benchmark or a good standard that the wargaming content should be or could be?
Are you saying like what would be a good benchmark for I'm sorry, can you rephrase it?
Yeah, I'm articulating my thoughts. Okay, here's a better way of phrasing it. If I was a brand new person, I want to start a YouTube channel and it's wargaming related, what advice would you give them?
Oh, like the standard, like what you need?
Yeah.
A good handheld camera. I think that a lot of people can get away with doing really good battle reports with just a good handheld camera.
Okay.
Maybe like a shotgun mic on top of it, a lav mic, and then just like learning how to pace a video, learning what's important for a battle report and what isn't important. Basically, like looking at the scene of tabletop or looking at the scene of wargaming and looking at what you enjoy and kind of just replicating that. You know, find people that you really enjoy, see what they do, and then try to see if you can fit that all into like your own persona. That's like the best advice that I can possibly give.
Okay.
But it is hard. It is very hard.
What's hard about it? Why would you say it's hard?
For wargaming videos? It's hard because when you look at something like Magic the Gathering, right? When there's a new set that comes out, you can immediately buy that set and start playing those cards and start making a video on it immediately, like on day of release, right?
Right.
When it comes to wargaming, we don't have that luxury because, you know, we have to like get the models in. We have to paint the models. We have hobby leg, right? So when there's like a new codex that comes out and there's like these banger units that people want to see, they would love to see, and would be great clickbait. If you don't own them, then you have to go into hobby leg and you have to make those models and stuff. And then that's like an added thing on top of recording what you want to record, planning what you want to record, and then also editing what you want to record. So it's like extra time that you're gaining or that you have to use up.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Interesting. What if you're a vlogger that's talking about new releases? Like, let's say GW Warhammer Community, they drop something, right? And literally 90 seconds later, you grab the image and then you post about it, you talk about it and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Like, if you want to do stuff like that, then you have so much assets that you have access to. So all you would need is just like a good microphone, and that's pretty much it, right? So no, that stuff would be that stuff's like easy. Like if you're doing like codex reviews or anything like that, because it's fast and you can produce it fast and you can release stuff fast. Because as long as you're on YouTube, you have to be uploading at least like once or twice a week in order to stay inside the algorithm and follow the trends of like the people that you enjoy and stuff like that.
So for you, because it sounds like your workload is, you have a robust workload with your two channels, and you're being in videos and you're thinking of concepts for videos and editing videos. So what kind of advice would you give for balance when it comes to working and like choosing what to do, and just what would you do? Like, how do you deal with that?
Yeah. My best advice is to not do what I do. The second best advice is to just like prioritize. I use project managers a lot, like Trello and stuff, in order to keep track of my projects, know what needs to be done in a certain time. It's all about organization and knowing when you can let go of a project and when you can keep going with a project. Because there's times when you'll have a project that you want to do and you think it's a great idea, and it's just that you just don't hit the right time for it, and then you just kind of drop it. Yeah. Because you have to learn to let go of your thoughts and your ideas that you think would work.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like there's one of my favorite quotes from a stand-up comedian, Mitch Hedberg, is he would he would say like, sometimes I would lay in bed and I would think of a really good joke, but I don't want to get up and write it down, so I try to convince myself that's a bad joke.
Yeah. No, that works like that. Okay. Yeah.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
But do I really want to do it? Nah, because then this and this and this. All right, fine, good. All right, I can go to sleep.
That's like it's the laziness. It's the test, right?
Yeah. It's the lazy test. But it works.
It totally works. No, it's like if it was a good enough idea, you'd get out of bed for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. That actually reminds me of something that a conversation I had with Jamie from Winter's SEO, where he said, what did he say? He said when he comes up with an idea, he tells Liam, and he says, "Okay, Liam, find the holes in this idea."
Yeah.
And if there aren't enough adequate holes that can be punched through the idea, then it was a good idea.
Yeah. You have to bulletproof it. You can't just make an idea and then just be like, all right, let's put it up. Let's see. Let's do it. You have to like understand that, every video that you're uploading, every stream that you're doing, you are molding your audience and making them think the way that you want to think, right? How you are perceived, all that stuff. So when you put stuff out there, you have to think like, how are people going to view this video? How are people going to view me as a person? If there's a bunch of holes that you can punch into it, then like, it's just going to fall apart. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that makes sense. How would you categorize your channel in terms of battle reports? Would you say it's competitive, narrative, or casual? What would be the strongest?
Casual, competitive around there.
Yeah.
I think that you know as well as I do that when it comes to like battle reports, there's like a happy medium that you have to touch upon, right? Where you want to be casual, you want to have a good time, you want to just hang out with your friends and do all that stuff. But at the same time, you're making a show, and when you're making a show about like an army, you need to be as precise with the army as you possibly can, because you're kind of like the spokesperson of that army, right?
Yeah.
You see new players coming in and they, the first thing that they type in is like Tau Empire battle report, right? Or like Chaos battle report. Like how where do I go? How do I sift through all this stuff? And then when they see somebody and they see that they're like getting rules wrong, or they don't really know the army very well, or that anything like that, then it's like it kind of turns them off to it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I would say absolutely. If a person was looking to learn, one is getting rules wrong, it would certainly turn them off to it. Yeah,
but if you just want to have fun and like you're looking for people having fun, then that's mostly what we do. Right? It's just like we just want to have fun. We try to be as close to the book as possible, just to appease like the more competitive players on how an army works. But like at the end of the day, we're just a couple of guys just throwing dice into a box and hoping for sixes.
Unless it's leadership.
Yeah, unless it's leadership, then we want those ones.
So, do you do narrative games on your channel? Do you do campaigns?
Yeah. We are looking to make stuff for like Crusade, right? There are narrative things that we want to try out, but when it comes to like narratives, the way that I look at it is that a narrative is kind of like a very in-depth thing. You have to create like a world, right?
Yep.
And you have to narrow down how you want this game to be played, how you want things to work out. It's kind of like it's like a mini Dungeons and Dragons campaign.
Yep.
So there's like a lot of work just in that, and then putting that together to then make a video that people can understand. And so that it's definitely in the works. It's just taking a while because we're trying to make sure that we iron out all the details and make it as interesting as possible for people so they can keep up. Like a one-off campaign type of stuff. Yeah.
So do you prefer custom with custom rules, story heavy on the story, or do you prefer like? Yeah. Okay, so that.
Yeah. If it comes to like open play stuff, I would rather create like kind of your own rules and have your own win conditions versus just like gaining points and stuff like that.
How much match play straight out of the book missions do you do?
Oh, we do a lot. We play a lot out of the GT, just because it's like the most balanced. We try to find like the most balanced way to play our game, so then both players can have fun at the same time. But we ran like a lot of narrative games outside of it, that we want to introduce, right? Like when we're off camera and we're just hanging out, then we'll just do like whatever the hell we want.
Yeah. And it looks as though that you capture that, like when you're playing together, you're doing a game and having fun. That's like, there's a lot of the in-between stuff that I noticed in your videos, where it's there's the reactions and there's like the comments, and like there's the gameplay itself, which is the meat and potatoes of the video, but there's all of the everything supporting all that stuff, which makes it entertaining, which I appreciate when I'm watching it as a viewer.
Yeah, like when you're watching something, would The Dark Knight be a good movie if there wasn't all the stuff leading up to the final fight between like the Joker and Batman, right? Like you have to have like progression. You have to have like, you can't just have like constant fight scenes all the time, right? Or else people get like diluted.
Yeah.
So, and like when you're playing Warhammer, like some of your best memories are probably just what happens, like you and your friend interacting and passing around jokes and like just talking to each other and having a good time. That's like everyone's favorite part of Warhammer. And like, when you're just like rolling dice and just saying this does this does this, then you kind of lose that aspect of what makes Warhammer so interesting.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. And perhaps this is reflective of the style that we've chosen to play and present the game. And that's a lot of comments that I've seen over the years and continue to see are, I feel like I'm in the room with you guys when you're playing.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you want. You want people to feel like that they're in the room, right? Like when we're watching like your guys' stuff, it feels like we're just sitting in with like two people just hanging out and just having a good time.
Yeah.
They don't care about winning. They don't care about losing. They just want to have a good time. And you're just there to watch.
Yeah. I feel like a game is successful when cool stuff happens on the tabletop, regardless of who the winner is. And also when Core Berserkers kill something in close combat, that too. But other than that, that's what I feel is a good, successful game. That's a good benchmark. Like cool stuff, cool explosions, cool like, this really needs to happen, but it failed. But, oh man, makes it so exciting. Like that, the tension. It's the tension.
Yeah.
Like that's the best. So if you were to like say to someone, this is what you get when you watch Dice Check, this is what you can expect to see, what would you tell them?
A bunch of stupid people rolling dice. Like that's the best thing I could say. And hoping that they get their rules right. Like that's just
I could say the exact same thing for mini wargaming.
Yeah. It's too blanket of a term. But that's literally all it is. It's just a couple of guys just liking the hobby and just wanting to play.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about armies for a minute here. So what are your main armies that you play?
Yeah, the biggest one is Tyranids. Absolutely love Tyranids. They are my favorite army, hands down. And then after that, I'm working on, or I have Harlequins. I'm working on Demons. And then after that, now that GW revealed K-Suns and the Grey Knights box, right? Magnus is like my favorite model in the game. I have he's literally in this box right here. I haven't built him yet because I have hobby leg, but like absolutely love Magnus. And what's it called? Now that that's revealed, because I knew that after Demons, I didn't know what I wanted, either Grey Knights or like, so I knew I wanted something Chaos, because Chaos is just so much fun. And I just thought, when that came out, I was like, oh no, now it's making it even worse, because these are the two armies that I was thinking about going with, and I think I'm just gonna go with K-Suns as like my next one. But yeah, those are my armies. But we have like a bunch of armies from the army, or from the office, like everybody owns.
How many are there that exist on the channel?
Right now there are 5. So it's like me, John P, Demeki, Raph, and Bricky. Those are the 5 that we have as of right now.
Okay. Do you each have your own? I know Bricky does. I'm not sure about the other guys, but do you each have your own channel?
Like channels? Demeki like streams every once in a while on his Twitch, but generally no. It's mostly just me and Bricky that are the YouTubers. Sorry, excuse me.
Right.
That are the YouTubers. I'm hoping that they create their own channels and stuff. That's what I would want. So then that way, I can have friends that can make content with me and not have to worry about their 9-to-5s, right?
Right.
Because their 9-to-5s would be them making the content,
right?
And like having fun and just hanging out.
And where are you located?
San Diego, California, SoCal.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So
back where? Oh yeah, go ahead, sir.
I was going to say, are you close to Chung?
Chung?
Wargamers Consortium?
I no, I don't think so. I've never heard of that.
Okay, so you don't. All right, so this is.
Yeah.
I mean, he hasn't made content in a long time, but it was years ago that, like about a decade ago, that he was making a lot of content in the community. So, and it makes me a little sad that you don't know him. That just means that it's been a long time since he's been making content, and he should stop collecting aquariums and he should start making more 40K content. But okay, so San Diego.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you are stateside, west side. The border is still closed. Okay, this is going to segue into the next thing I want to talk about.
Yeah.
A potential collaboration between. The...
Oh, dude.
Okay.
You're speaking to me, man. I can't.
All right.
Oh, you're making my heart flutter, man. Woo.
All right. Comments, guys. Leave your comments below. What do you think a collaboration should look like? What would that look like to you? What would be good ideas? Leave them, and then we'll do our best to kind of pick some out and then discuss them. But okay, so let's do a thought experiment and let's pretend that COVID wasn't a thing. So if COVID wasn't a thing, you are. I officially invite you to the mini wargaming bunker.
Yeah.
Where you can stay as a guest, and then we can film here.
Yeah.
So that's one option. Would that work the opposite way?
Now, our studio is very, very small. It is a small area, but we would love to have you guys out here. Like we could like pay for a hotel and stuff, have nearby, so then you guys have a good place to stay, everything like that, and then we could just do the same thing. It's just literally the same thing where we just play at each other's offices. Yeah, we could definitely work that out. I would love to come over to the vault and check it out. Maybe we could do like a vlog of like how everything works at the vault, or how you guys set up like the entire studio and all that stuff, because people love that information. Like they love seeing how you guys like do your stuff. I would love to do that. Maybe you guys can give us. Dude, you guys can show us the ropes when it comes to narrative and making a good narrative campaign.
Yeah.
That would be a sick collab.
Yeah. Okay. And then you can show us the ropes when it comes to making YouTuber videos where it grabs the attention.
Yeah. We will, all it is, we just have a room where there's just a monkey, and he just like slaps a computer, and then eventually he makes something good, and that's the stuff that we choose to put up. We can lend you the monkey if you want.
We'll pay for the shipping.
Yeah. We'll poke holes in it and everything, so he'll be good.
So okay, playing a game. Let's say it was okay. So let's go back to the real world, the real current world, because I'm optimistic and I think that the border will open at some point. So let's say
yeah.
But barring that, current world, we can't cross the border. So what kind of collab could we do?
What kind of collab could we do? It'd be funny is if we did the whole like Warhammer, like a long distance Warhammer video, where we kind of like play like on like a call or something. And then when you're moving stuff, like we just see like how you're moving and what you're moving, and then like that's the battle report, is us like playing from a long distance. That would be so complicated, and it's such a stupid idea. See, now I'm trying to think of why would be. I'm punching holes in it.
Yes,
that's dumb.
What are the reasons why that's a bad idea? So a year ago when like the lockdown first started, we were closed for 6 weeks. So we started to do remote bat reps with each other within the office, right?
Yeah.
So there was one person who film the entire thing. They've set up like an overhead shot for the other player who's watching from their computer, and then they were also filming it on the table. There was 2 armies set up, and then one player would move for both and roll dice for both, and they would just simply move and do what the other player would do.
What the other player was saying and stuff like that.
And it's funny because having done it both ways, having filmed and moved for both, and having been the person watching and making decisions for the other person, I could tell you that after a while, I forgot that it was remote, and I got so immersed in the game that it became, I mean, it was the same emotional connection of I care what happens to these guys and I want them to win. And so I think as long as there is that, and that is conveyed in the video. That's really ultimately the...
that, I mean, like, that'd be a sick, that'd be so funny. And we could call it like in a Warhammer in a COVID world or whatever, just like just how people can play it. It sounds like a cool idea. I just feel like that it might be a little bit too difficult, but I would totally be down for that.
How long does it take for you to play and film a game?
We're slow when we play. To film a game, maybe about like 5 hours to film it.
Okay, so that's on par. I mean, that's similar to us. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. I thought that we were just like that we were just way too slow.
No. That's I mean, that's completely, and we're talking just 2,000 point game of 40K.
Yeah. It's hard to stream sometimes because it like when you play 40K, and I see this all the time when you're streaming, is that people always say, wow, you guys are still on round 2, right? And like and the thing is that it's hard to tell people, or like when they don't understand that rounds 1, 2, and 3 are the most important rounds, right? That's when you're moving your most models. Round 2 is like the most important round. Sorry, I'm getting a phone call. And then round 3 just like is basically like the end game of what's going to happen for the final 2 rounds, right?
100%.
So like those 3 rounds, everyone always says, man, you guys are still in round 2, because they see it in real time, right? They're like, man, you guys are still in round 2. And it's like, yeah, we are. It's very important.
It could be the majority of the videos round 2.
Yeah. Because rounds 3, 4, and 5 just like go by quick, because everything's dead by that point.
So there was a comment here that says, I like the way Dice Check has commentary during the movement.
Yeah. We did that during our tournament arc that we did, where we did commentary about like our movement. We had like casters come in and they would commentate over the movement phase for like a live stream, to make it so then you could focus on one game while still being entertained during the movement phase, because the movement phase takes so much time. There's so much dead space during the movement phase. So that's what we did for the tournament. That's what we want to keep doing when we keep doing like these in-house tournament arc things. Is that, I guess. Yes.
So do you have like a copious amount of footage afterwards that you have to edit into a bat rep?
Oh, yeah.
Is it, so how long would you say does it take to edit a battle report?
To edit a battle report, it depends on what we're trying to go for. If we're doing like more production work in the sense of having more like talking head points or anything like that, that can take like 3 weeks. But if it's it could take like 3 weeks. That's a lot, right?
Like what how many hours is that? Is that like 80 hours of editing? Like what are we looking at?
Yeah, like probably around like 80 hours of editing. More so, yeah.
That's crazy,
man.
8,
maybe 120 around there.
No way.
Like yeah, dude. Yeah, if we want to make something like really really good, like a really highly edited battle report.
You know what? That actually reminds me of, this is off topic, but it's related because it reminded me of something. Therefore, it's related.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you make docu videos.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so I've watched a handful of them. They are, I have to say, they are extremely well done.
Thank you.
When I was watching, if you guys haven't seen his videos that are, I mean, it looks like a documentary you'd see on Netflix. That's the quality level. That's the research level. That's the clips. That's the story arc. Everything about it. The production quality is insane. I have no idea how long it takes you to edit these videos. Probably similar amount of time, I'm guessing.
Oh yeah, similar amount of time. Because those are stuff that I edit myself, and that like I film myself, and that I write myself, and everything like that.
Crazy. That's did you do one on MySpace?
I did do one on MySpace.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did one on MySpace. I did a documentary on LimeWire.
LimeWire. I saw that one too. So I saw those two. Yeah. And awesome. Like that insane. And I love how you bring up these like tidbits. It's like this. Essentially, it's a history lesson, but it doesn't feel like a history lesson because
it's a history lesson made for YouTube. Right.
Yeah. It's super cool. So check that. And now that's on your other channel, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on the Magikarp Use Fly channel. I love making those videos. The only problem is just like it's hard putting that much effort into a video because you don't know if it's gonna get ad restricted or not.
Oh, because of different clips that you're taking from it?
Yeah, exactly.
Which would defeat the purpose.
Exactly, right? Yeah. Because like that LimeWire video, one of my favorite videos of all time. I love that video. It meant a lot to me. And then, but like when it released, it was ad restricted. Video got like 1 million views. I only made like $100 off of it, and that's it. And that was like 3 weeks of just work after work of just like making this video that means a lot to me. And that's just how YouTube works sometimes.
No, that is certainly unfortunate. There's that immediate connection to that you don't get. However, there's the intangibles, which is it's a gateway for people to find out about your channel.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like this is what this guy can do and stuff like that. It's just it's hard to do it when it's like your full-time job is YouTube, and then like it's like going into work for like doing overtime for like 3 weeks and then being like, I only made $100 during 3 weeks. You know what I mean? It can be a little bit demoralizing,
Yeah, no, that totally makes sense because you want that too. I mean, there's so many reasons for making a video, and that is one of the most important ones. Especially if it's your job, and especially if it fuels what you're doing. So, John Norberg is saying, can we talk about Ultramarines versus Grey Knights? Are there any thoughts you have on Ultramarines versus Grey Knights, specifically those two?
Just specifically those two. That's so niche. Like, where did that come from? I don't know. I don't really have like not off the top of my head. Do you have anything that you want to talk about with Ultramarines versus Grey Knights?
I mean, I don't play either of the armies. Ultramarines, I wish they were red and had corn in front of them.
Yeah, and they had like little spiky parts.
Or in the very least be a blood angel. Like I don't. Yeah. I just can't relate to a space Smurf. I just can't. It's not what excites me. The lore, everything about it is just not me at all. In fact, very similarly with Grey Knights. In fact, I'm sorry, man, but those two armies. Probably in all of the Space Marine chapters are probably my least favorite ones.
Dude, I love Grey Knights.
Do you love Grey Knights?
I love Grey Knights. I think that they're so cool. Obviously, like when it comes to Space Marines, I'm not a big fan of the whole Space Marine aesthetic, right?
What do you mean by that? What does that mean?
Like the whole power armor.
Okay.
It doesn't attract me too much, right? But when it comes to Grey Knights, they're just cool. You just do psychic powers everywhere. They're just like, just like it's so cool. Like
it's rule of cool. I see that. I can understand. I can understand that. That I get. Because
and they have some cool characters. Paladins look pretty cool. A little bit too stocky, but they look pretty cool.
Drago walking through the warp though. That's probably their coolest lore thing.
Yeah.
I would say. Yeah.
I think that they're cool. I haven't read too much about their lore, but the way that they look on table, I think, is pretty neato.
Okay. You know what? All right. So here's the thing. What I know about them lore wise is why I don't like them.
Oh, okay.
Their aesthetics, I think they are aesthetically good-looking models. Same with the Ultramarines, in fact. The blue is stunning when it's done well.
When it's done really well.
Yeah. Lore-wise, it's not the kind of lore that excites me. So the fact that you just said, like, you just basically stamped it with rule of cool, that's the exact reason why I started playing Chaos Space Marines 13 years ago. It's complete rule of cool. I knew nothing about them. They just look like amazing models, and so I can get behind that reason.
Yeah, like, and dude, the new Cheriton's coming out soon. It's gonna have some new rules for them. Are you excited for that?
It is going to have some new rules for them, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. I'm really excited for it because we have an Emperor's Children army, that like somebody got for us, and because like we were like we want to do Chaos Space Marines, but we didn't know where to start, and I guess like one of our audience members decided where to start for us, so we're just gonna start Emperor's Children,
right?
But like Khorne is so cool. It's so cool.
Khorne is cool. I agree with this.
Yeah.
It's a life statement I can agree with. Yeah.
Yeah. Like Word Bearers, Alpha Legion, all that cool stuff. So I'm actually very excited to see where they're gonna take the Chaos Space Marines in 9th edition, because I'm just going to. I want to think that they're just gonna absolutely just demolish everybody. That's what I hope.
Okay, so every single edition since 4th edition, that's when I started playing, that was my hope for Chaos Space Marines. And, so historically it's always Space Marines, regular Space Marines, are given the love first, they're updated first, new models, new rules, whatever, right? Yeah. And then Chaos Space Marines is some time later after that, indeterminate amount of time later. And when that happens, there's always this thought that I have is like, okay, well, we're pretty much going to get the same things, only it's going to be the Chaos equivalent. We'll be par or whatever.
Yeah.
And I still maintain this hope, but historically speaking, it's always like not quite as strong. It's strong, but it's not quite as strong.
Yeah.
Every time. So I hope that
this is it. This is the edition, man.
Yes.
This is the one.
I hope it is. And I was hoping that it was going to be an 8th edition because Khorne wanted it, but apparently Khorne didn't want it. But I have to say, Khorne Demon, did you play Khorne Demon? Play against it? Seen it played? Anything?
I haven't, but I look forward to it. That's what that's one army that I really want to. Yeah.
I hope it becomes a thing again officially, because I could do it all I want narratively, right? But unless it's sanctioned by GW for some reason, that same feeling of validation on the tabletop isn't there. Yeah. So that's my rant. Okay, so talking about the plastic crack addiction.
Oh gosh.
And the title of this. So do you have a pile of shame that you look at, or a pile of potential, as JT McDowell calls it?
Yeah. I'm looking at it right now. I have a bunch of demons over here, a bunch of keepers over here that I haven't painted in like 3 months, not even primed. Just sitting there.
Are they assembled?
Just staring at me.
They're assembled.
They're assembled.
Yeah.
But I just haven't gotten around to painting. Obviously, like like what I was saying, like I have to edit like all the time, right? I have to I have to work like all the time. And so I have so much hobby like when it comes to that. But ironically, I think I have, out of everybody in the group, I have the smallest pile of shame.
Okay.
I try to be very efficient with what I want to buy.
Yeah.
And what I want to play with, and not buy too much excess stuff that I don't want to play with or that I don't want to, try out, right?
Yeah.
Except when it's Tyranids. When it's Tyranids, I just buy whatever the hell.
So like me and Chaos.
Yeah. Oh, that looks cool. That's a cool. I want that. That's mine.
Okay. Five Lords Discordant. Okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Whatever. Yeah. I can have 3 Swarm Lords. That's okay. I don't care. they all look different.
That's right. Five Bellicors, 1 for each Chaos God, and the Bellicor.
Yeah, exactly. It's like shoes, right? You buy a bunch of shoes, and they're all shoes. Some just look different and cooler.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's all about that's kind of what they want, right? But that's okay, because that's what we want too. So we all want the same thing.
Yeah, if I can own 20 Swarm Lords, all painted differently to match my clothes, and then I could bring that to any game with whatever clothes I'm wearing, then I just look stylish, and It's cool.
It's cool. Yeah. So, okay, this actually brings me to my next question here for you, which is, when you, what makes you determine the type of video that you make?
What we want to do. So big rule of thumb when it comes to YouTube: throw doo-doo at the wall as much as you can in the beginning, because once you do that and you can figure out like what people like and what people don't like, then you could zero in on what people like, and then you make content revolving around those things, right? So sorry, in the beginning when you're first starting out, you want to just throw any concept that you have just at the wall, put it up, just try it out, see what happens, see what works. You're building an audience, right? And then from there, you see which ones you enjoy or which ones people enjoy. And then you take those, you turn those into a series, and you keep reciprocating that. And then after that, then you look at other ideas that you want, and you try to match that same quality that you're building for those series. Is that, yeah. Okay. That's like that's how I would tackle it.
Okay.
When it comes to ideas and stuff.
I like it. You call it the doo-doo on the wall. We call it the spaghetti test, but it's essentially the same thing. You throw spaghetti, and whatever sticks, and you just go with that. Yeah.
And you just go with that, and then you just build a skeleton out of it, you know?
Yeah, that's good advice. Yeah, I would absolutely agree with that. And with in our case, it was like, we start with Lord of the Rings, right? We didn't even play 40K at first.
Yeah.
And then we got White Dwarf, and you know, that there was maybe one article dedicated to Lord of the Rings. Everything else was 40K.
Yeah.
And so we're like, I wonder what happened. We started playing 40K. The game's clearly more popular. And so since we started covering on the channel, then we just more views and more stuff. And then we got interested in different things that opened us up to a new...
to new areas, new video ideas, everything like that. Yeah.
Is there something that you won't do that's popular but you won't do because of just interest's sake?
For interest's sake?
Like that's extremely popular right now, but I just simply am not interested in it. Therefore, I'm not going to do it.
If you had asked me this about 5 months ago, I would say, and I know that people will kill me for this, Age of Sigmar, because we have so much hobby lag already with 40K that I can't imagine then also learning Age of Sigmar and then building all those models as well and painting those up and having even more hobby lag. However, there are some new there's some new stuff that's third edition of Age of Sigmar is coming up, and now I'm all of a sudden pretty hyped for it. So
what's the reason why you're hyped for it?
Because it's an entirely new game mode, right? Or not a game mode. It's like it's a new game, basically. It's a new edition, right?
Okay.
And when there's a new edition, that means that you're going to be getting like a bunch of new models and new rules. You're starting off at the same playing field as everybody else, right? And, and Age of Sigmar models, you can't say that the models don't look good.
They're
their
gorgeous.
models are absolutely amazing.
Yes, they are.
So like when you see like this new edition coming out, I'm just like, I want to get it. I want to try it. I want to see what it's like. I want to play it. I want to do all this stuff. But I have to like constantly think to myself, pile of shame. Don't get too worked up. You have to finish what you have now. That's like I think that's the only thing, is just everything else I'm open for. Yeah. But like Age of Sigmar, doing another big thing around it is just like, it's very daunting.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It would take a new edition for you to take the leap.
Yeah, exactly. Which is happening. So I don't know.
So I'm curious about something. Your demographics.
Yeah.
Could we talk about the age of your viewers?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. You know what? I can pull them up and look at them.
I'm curious. I'm curious to know if they're similar to ours or if it's different.
All right. Let me pull up age. I got you. This will be an interesting.
I have a theory.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should I tell you a theory before you tell me, or should I tell you after?
Yeah.
Before?
You know what? Yeah. Tell me your theory now, and I'll tell you if you're incorrect or correct.
Okay. So, So I'll tell you my theory by telling you our demographic first.
Yeah.
Okay, so our demographic is, well, primarily guys. It's like 95%, but that fluctuates. And then it's like ages 18 to 30, 35 in there. That's kind of like the largest. But it's mostly like 25 to 35. Like it's mostly that. And that's like, geez, that's, I want to say that's a good, 70% or whatever. And then it's like, that's the largest. And then there's the younger and the older. I suspect that yours is similar. However, you have more in the younger. Not more than the overall, but more than us in the younger.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's a bingo. Yeah, you're right.
Is that a bingo? It looked like you were gonna tell me why I was wrong. I'm gonna punch holes into why that's wrong. Which makes sense because of the YouTuber style videos.
Exactly. And that's kind of what we want to do. We want to our biggest thing is nurturing new players and giving them the tools and showing them what is great about the hobby, right? That's the demographic that we're going for, showing people what it's like to play, how fun it is, what the different lores are, how to get started, what you need to start playing, what can help you out if you want to just, how to play like casually, how to play competitively, all these different routes. Like, because, when you're a new player, there's so much information about Warhammer, right?
Yep.
And it can be so daunting to look at everything and trying to figure out what content do I need to consume? Like, how do I do this? How do I do this? How do I do this? Right.
Yep.
And so we kind of want to be like that driving factor of being like, hey, if you're a new player, boom, here you go. This is all the stuff that you guys need. But yeah, so like for us, 18 to 24 is 32.7%. And then 25 to 34 is at 47.4%.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's almost half and half.
Yeah, it's close,
but it's close-ish.
Yeah. Your numbers are definitely different than ours. I'm curious though. I want to look now to get the exact numbers because I know it was close. But I'll tell you.
Yeah.
And therefore tell everyone.
Yeah. But like 25 to 34 is like the demographic when it comes to Warhammer anyways, because that's like when, they're done with college, they have a little bit more extra spending money, they can start getting into the hobby even more. So 25 to 34 is like really good still. Because that's the main demo.
That's 100%.
Yeah.
Okay. That's why. Okay. Yeah, this is taking a sec.
Oh yeah, no, it's all good.
I was looking at the latest video, but really I shouldn't. I should look at all videos. Like, hey, there's no numbers for this. What the heck? Oh, okay, that's why. Looking at the latest video posted 4 hours ago. That's why there's no numbers.
Yeah. But it's interesting to see like what 18 to 24 or like 24 and younger is I feel like is like very untapped because like obviously those people are really, really interested in social media and stuff, right?
Yep.
So they know how to do their sharing. They know how to do like your tweeters, your TikToks, your whatever is cool nowadays. So
okay,
we try to yeah.
Okay, so here it is. 25 to 34 is 49.7%.
Okay.
18 to 24, 18.1%.
Oh wait. So then what's your next biggest one?
So 18 to 24 is actually third place. Second place is 35 to 44 with 22.2%.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Our 35 to 44 is at 12%.
Is that 12%?
Yeah.
Interesting. So what is your biggest 18 to 24?
Our biggest is 25 to 34. Our second biggest is 18 to 24.
Okay. And then what was your 25 to 34 again?
25 to 34 was 47.
47. Okay.
18 to 24 is 32.
32. That means your 35 to 44 is...
It's like 12.
12.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
Interesting.
Yeah. Interesting.
we make videos for the Zoomers, right?
Okay, so I think also like we do not focus on people getting into the hobby, which is something that we've wanted to do in the past, but like you know, when a new edition comes out, we make a few videos on how to play the game, but it's not an ongoing thing. That is focused on the channel, and people that watch your videos typically they know how to play the game already. It's not learning how to play the game.
For us, it's like it's almost the opposite, because like we started off with like the Warhammer documentary thing that we did, right? And that like interested people in the Warhammer hobby.
The tabletop simulator thing?
No. We made this video called Four Grown Men Spend like $3,000 on
Okay.
to crack. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, the Journey to Warhammer stuff. And that got people that like our videos interested in Warhammer. And so like when we transitioned over to doing tabletop stuff, we actually have like a huge amount of people that are just like new players and trying to learn and like trying to figure out like where to go, what to do, and like, you know, all that stuff. So we try to be as like new player friendly as we possibly can.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, that's a curious food for thought thing, folks.
We could talk about it more later, because like it's interesting stuff.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's switch gears here for a moment and let's do a chaos comment bomb.
Ooh, let's go.
Okay, so
let's go.
For those of you who do not know what this is, I'm going to post a link in the chat, and that's going to bring you to a YouTube video. And what we're going to do is we're going to drop comments on this YouTube video. And this is going to be, let's see here. So I have to type it up again because I changed it to look at the stats. But here we go. Okay, yep, that's it. And we're going to go on their latest video. Excellent. This happens to be Black Legion. All right, posting a link. All right, and this is what you do. I'm going to post a link in the chat, and what you do is you click on this link, leave a comment on this video, and leave it something like, Dave and Matt from Dice Check say hi. From the Shrine of Chaos. Or you could say, don't collect Tau, collect Chaos. Or collect Tyranids, because that's also good. As long as they know they've been chaos comment bombed by the Shrine of Chaos, that is the most important thing. I will post this link a number of times. I'm going to spam it just so it's unquestionable what link you need to click on. And then I'll go back to the video, and then I'm going to refresh it real time because it's fun to see the immediate response.
Let's go. And this is a new video too, so they're going to be like... Bricky's going to look at it and be like, what's going on? What is this? What's happening?
All right, so this is Adeptus Ridiculous, and I've seen some of their videos in the past, and I have to say they're hilarious. They're it's just fun to listen to the banter, and that's all it is. It's a podcast, yeah, and it's a bantering podcast about 40K stuff, and it is incredibly entertaining. So check them out. We got their video, and they just recently posted it because they get a crazy amount of interaction with their stuff. So they will see the result of the comments right now as we speak, which is awesome. I hope that the notifications are connected to his phone, so it just goes like buzzes like crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So without you guys, Chaos Comment Bomb would not be possible. So thank you very much for participating in this. And Chief Librarian Mephiston just Chaos Comment bombed. I have to say that because that was somebody's name. Crazy.
Yeah.
It
also what you do when you Chaos Comment bomb somebody, and like if the video is new, you're actually helping them with the algorithm.
Yes.
So boom. Dude, you guys are lifting up the tides, man.
You are. And Jim White, thank you very much. I love that Tiger Lily. And fantastic. I'm going to give it a like too. All right. Okay. Give it a like. And already subscribed. So there we go. 8,806 views. So Corn wants it currently. And so we're good. And that's it. That's the Chaos Comment Bomb this week. One more refresh. I just want to see. Are we over 200? 197. Not quite. All right. OC is going to kill me. We got to get another 3 before.
You got to do it.
Yeah,
you got to do it.
Another 3 comments before. One more comment. I'm going to say.
Let's go.
Up, tear, seize all. I'll leave the comment myself. Boom. Okay, that counts as a 200. You're gonna refresh. Now it's 201. OCD is gonna bug me again, but at least it's in the good direction.
Yeah. We hit the marker.
We did.
Can you imagine if there was like a Kickstarter and they're like, we need to hit this goal? Oh, my OCD. Never mind. It's done. Like, even if they reach past the goal, it's like, no.
Hindering their own success.
Yeah. Suffering from success.
So, so thank you very much for coming on to the show. Again, guys, I've included a link to Dice Tech YouTube channel, so check that out, whether you're watching on Twitch, Facebook, or YouTube. Check out Matt's videos and all the stuff that he creates, all the stuff that he infuses into the wargaming community with his YouTube videos, and you'll see exactly what I mean. And when you get the chance, also check out his other YouTube channel, which is Magic Carp Use Fly.
Use Fly, LOL. Yeah.
And particularly, like your videos are fun and entertaining. My favorite ones are by far those documentary type of videos. And so,
Thank you. That means a lot to me because those are my favorite ones too.
I learned a lot about LimeWire and MySpace. I will say that. And so stuff I didn't know, it was awesome. The presentation was amazing. You should contact Netflix and fund you to make some more of that stuff.
Make some more mini documentaries.
Yeah, it's great. It's incredibly well produced, and you guys will see what I mean when you watch it. So thanks again, Matt, and thank you, folks.
Thank you.
Stay tuned next week, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, Shrine of Chaos. Happy wargaming.